everyone, and welcome to my review of Purple Hibiscus by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I read this book as part of the Continent read-along that is organized by Jasmine and the book Jazz. I will leave all the information of the read-along in the description box below. This month, the continent that everyone is reading from is Africa, and this is the first book that I read from the read-along, as well as the first book that I ever read written by an African writer. This is actually from Nigeria, more specifically. This is also Adichie's debut novel, her first novel, and it was published in 2003, and I really liked this book. It was nominated and won a few awards, including being longlisted for the Man Booker Prize and shortlisted for the Orange Prize for Fiction. The book is set after the military coup in Nigeria, and while the military was taking over the government and ruling the country. Kambili's father is a man who is very charismatic, very respectable in his community. He's a devout Catholic. He helps the poor, the widows with their children, veterans. He donates money for everyone. He even receives awards from Amnesty International and is editor or co-editor of a newspaper that speaks the truth and against political oppression in Nigeria. But at home he is an oppressive and abusive father, fanatically religious, who tortures his family for the smallest things. In their house, everything from not speaking in the correct voice, to not being first in class, to not feeling well enough and not attending church one day, can lead to the worst beatings and the worst tortures and abuses ever. And this is the only life that Kambili knows, until one day when her father's sister, her aunt, invites her and her brother Jaja to spend a week with her and her family. There, Kambili is able to experience a different type of life where children are allowed to speak up their own mind, they're allowed to fight, and most importantly, and what surprises her most, is that they are allowed to smile and laugh. In her aunt's house, she also learns what religious tolerance is and how you can just love everyone around you and not despise people for their beliefs, which is something that her father always taught her to do. Since it is told in first-person perspective, there's a lot of inner thoughts and feelings of the girl saying the story. This isn't really spoiling anything for you. This happens really fast and is also written on the back of the book. The political situation in Nigeria is only the background on which this develops. It's not really that important to the storyline, and in many cases, Kambili's story and the story of her family is just really universal. It doesn't have to happen in Nigeria. It could happen anywhere. Something that I really enjoyed about this book was that it was able to have a very strong effect on me and my mood and the way I physically felt as reading it. In the beginning of the book, in the first part, when Kambili and her brother live with their parents, and you can realize how fanatic their father is and how they're always paying attention to what they're saying. They're always calculating every reaction to make sure they don't enrage him. It really kept me tense and really gave me goosebumps. And when they're spending time with their aunt and they're able to relax and they're able to realize that life can be fun and full of laughter, I was able to breathe along with them, and I felt more relaxed as I was reading the book. The way that the book was written was able to transmit those feelings to me very easily, and I think that is a sign that this book is written really well. I really also enjoyed the fact that the characters were complex. One thing that I didn't particularly like was that the ending came a bit abrupt to me, but apart from that, I really enjoyed it. It was a really good read. This particular edition of the book that I read is the UK edition, and what is really lovely about it is that it has a bunch of bonus pages in it, some about the author, some about the work and how it was received by critical reviewers, as well as a short essay written by Adichie, which was called Tiny Wonders. and I read that as well. It's about 5 pages long, and it is really nicely written, and it is written in first person about her own experience coming back from America to visit her hometown and seeing through very nostalgic eyes how everything changed and remembering things from her childhood. That bonus essay was really nice. I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend getting this edition that has those extra pieces of information as well. All in all, I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads, and it was a really good way of starting my journey through the continent read-along and my journey through African literature and through Nigerian literature specifically. I highly recommend this book to you guys. Even if you're not particularly interested in Nigerian culture, I still highly recommend this book. I think this book is really interesting through its characters and through the fact that the family situation of the girl in the book is highly universal. This was it for my review of Purple Hibiscus. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you've read this book, please let me know down in the comments below what you thought about it and how your experience reading it was. I will see you back with more videos soon. Have a great day. Bye!